What's going on YouTube? How's it going? To have my buddy Jacob Stone with me today. And what did you do this past Saturday?
I took first place with Live Twin Eldlich, of all things.
Yeah, and that is pretty sick. I know it's your first dub in a while, so we're all proud of you.
Oh, hell yeah.
So before we jump into the profile, what were your matchups?
So the first round was Dino, and I actually lost that one because Lost World's a good card.
Yeah.
And Misk. Misk is a pretty good card. Round 2 was against that like 60 card synchro pile.
The Punk Therion?
Yeah, Punk Therion Adventure. I took that one in time. That one was a really close game. And then round 3 was against Pendulum Magician, which that matchup was really weird. And then the final round was Witchcrafter, and that was the fight for first, and that's just wild to me.
Yeah, Witchcrafter is actually like sort of scary when it pops off.
That deck slaps. Like Madame Veer's a good card, and yeah. I only squeaked out a win because he forgot Madame Veer's a good card.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Let's just jump right into it then.
All right. Well, starting with the main deck, we got your 3 main twins, 3 Kiss a Kill, and 3 Lilla. This one's also here for a sex. This is the best twin, and it's because of their alternate variants. Mm-hmm. So they each have the effect. If you don't control any other monsters and they're normal or special summoned, they summon the other one from the deck. It's any monster though, so they aren't landlocked to each other, and that's why the 2 Frost and the 1 Tree come in. This one's an additional draw in the graveyard when your opponent adds a card. You banish it and you draw an extra card. And then this one does some funny damage step stuff. So if a battle happens with a twin monster, you can banish it out of your graveyard, and then it reduces the attack by the damage a player took. It reduces a monster's attack on the field. So this actually helps push for games in a lot of really weird places, and it came up a lot. So I would probably play this at 3 if you held a gun to my head and did it again. I really liked it. It was such a like free tempo advantage. And then we have the Garnet. This thing sucked. I didn't resolve it once, and every time I drew it, my hand got infinitely worse. This thing is like searchable by secret password alone, and that's terrible. It has to be summoned by its effect, and it's like a weird evenly matched on a 4400 body, which is good, but the fact that it's so unsearchable makes this thing like turbo trash. Can't be summoned from the graveyard. I guess that's like the one benefit, is that can be summoned from the grave. And then the most boring part is the double Lich, since we're playing Eldlich, so. And then actual like MVP number 2 is Parallel Exceed.
Oh, okay.
This thing makes Baguska, and that's actually really good this format, but it's also, this thing actually doubles as an extender in a pinch. Like, I've actually had to use this thing to extend, because you summon it, and if the other 2 are gone, or one of them's in your hand, the other one's banished from your desires. This one just behaves like a free extender for another name, so can't complain too much. And then for the last rounding out the monsters is the Triple Ash. It's Ash Blossom.
Standard.
Yeah, it's literally Ash Blossom. For the spells, we're starting off with the 3 Secret Password and Snitch. So this thing searches this. So you essentially have a Rhoda for your Tenki. Except this is better. Yeah, this is actually better than Tenki though. Yeah. Also, if you control, I think, both the twins, this thing can search an evil twin monster, which is the only way you search your Garnet, which is bad. You never want to do that. This card's actually really good. This card wins in time. So on activation, this does matter, is that when this card is activated, it does the search. So you can't ogre it when it does the search. And then it has the continuous effect as long as you control an evil twin. Whenever your opponent summons a monster, they take 200, and then you gain 200, and that little bit of push is what prank is so good. It's wild, but these were great. Wouldn't change anything about them. And this is probably the one card I've probably contested the most in my mind, is the Double Home. This card's good because if your twins get like Ashed or Veilered, if your twins get Ashed or Veilered, this just acts like the other copy because it can summon any of the other ones from deck. But it costs us a discard and it Xenolocks you in the extra, which really sucks. It came up a lot though, so this makes me feel so conflicted. I don't know how I feel about this, but it came up so much that I can't be too mad. And then we're playing Double Eldland to search Lich. That's all it does. I did use it to search back row once. I used it to search Conk once in the Witchcrafter matchup because I had the Lich already, so.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the only time it didn't search Lich. And then Pot of Greed.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. I don't know. And then Call by the Grave. This deck hates hand traps. Valor, Imperm, and Ash suck, but this one only hits, you know, Valor and Ash.
Yeah.
But those hand traps are terrible for this deck, so having just an option for that is just always comforting. And then we are playing the most boring traps in all of existence. 3 Scarlet, triple Conquistador, and double Hawk. Please put yourself in the proper spot. These came up constantly.
Yeah.
This one is actually the reason I won against that Therian pile, was because I summoned a Lich and he couldn't get around it. I never resolved Hawk. This card's bad now. The Hawk never came up once. The Conquistador came up all the time. These cards are all super boring. We'll get them off the thing, and then Imperm. The last 3 are Imperm.
Sheesh, nice.
I really love this card. I play it in so many things.
Awesome.
But that's it for the main deck. For the extra, we have 3 of each of your main twins. A draw card when she special summon with the other twin is great, and then pop. Sadly, it targets, but you can't win them all. Essentially, if you're going first, you summon this one first because they each have quick effects during the main phase to summon an opposite name from the graveyard. So if you're going first, you make her to get the extra draw to help push your advantage. If you're going second, you make her to get the pop to try to clear the board a little bit. They're super simple. The only quick effect during the main phase, which kind of sucks, but it helps keep a level of tempo if they start breaking your board apart. So that's it for those. And then we're playing 2 of their Boss Monster, Trouble Sunny. I want to play the third one. If I had one, I'd play the third.
Yeah.
This thing came up literally constantly. As a 3300 body, it's too big for most things to like summon over. And then you have a quick effect tag out into the 2 other twins, which helps give more advantage on your opponent's turn. And then I forgot this constantly. It came up constantly. I should have remembered it. But in the graveyard, you could banish it and then send a twin.
Oh yeah.
And then it sends something. Like that's so good. Oh my god, this card's bonkers. Like, we need more of this. We need more of this in this archetype. For the generic stuff, we're playing Dark, and then literally all the nightmares.
All the nightmares.
All the nightmares that are good. Cerberus is like gutter tier this format, so. This never came up. There was like one matchup that this thing came to mind to even summon. This thing did terrible. I'm probably gonna cut it. This thing never got summoned either. So probably the same problem, but also I wasn't playing too many back row decks. The only one I was playing was Witchcrafter, and that one does not matter. Unicorn came up once. It came up mostly during the Dino when I was trying to get out of the boards that he was putting me in, but that was about it. It was fine. This one's actually really good, because if you put Griffin under the Link 4, you create a board state where this is it. This is the only card you get, and then because the twins have favorable arrows, you can co-link them. So it's just free value.
Nice.
I did make this a couple of times. It's probably the best out of these that I've made. This would probably go to IP if you made me. But yeah, that's it for those. And then the MVP of the big links, Unchained Abomination. This card came in clutch so much. So during my matchup in game 3, because he's playing Pendulum Magician, I made this going first. After he had interacted with my board too much to make the other one worth it. So I just dropped the Abomination. And when he goes to resolve his Magicians, they blow each other up for effect, which triggers his effect to pop a card, and then he cleared up the board during the end phase, helping me push in for game.
Hilarious.
This card's so freaking good. It came up a lot more than I thought it would, and I was like sitting there like, man, I really, really need to summon it more.
Oh yeah.
But this card's absolutely bonkers. The fact that it blows up during the end phases too is really good too. And then the 2 Exceeds. You can tell which one got made, and the other one's Tornado Dragon.
Would you maybe want to play in a Bistro instead of the NATO Dragon?
Absolutely, I would absolutely play the Dweller over the Tornado Dragon. The issue is that this deck Fiend locks you, which means that Baguska's just like that's kind of the thing is that like if you're playing a Seed, this is the best one because it's a Fiend, so you're not like truly locked. This never came up at all. We're not playing back row. If I really had to choose, I'd pick Dweller over this every day.
Yeah.
Just because Dweller might have come up during some of my matches, it probably would have actually done a lot more. But Baguska is a really good card.
Oh yeah, I love that one.
When you make Baguska, most people kind of just sit there and go, huh. good card, bro. I think there was a misplay I had made going into the matchup with Witchcrafters where I had put him into attack early, So I went to go close the game. I put him into attack early, so he just started quick tagging. I'm like, oh, I've made a mistake. It's fine. I was able to play out of it, but it was really bad. It was not a good place to be in. But yeah, so that's it for the extra. Do you want me to talk about the sides?
Yeah, let's do the side.
Okay, so the sides, like, sorry for the mismatched sleeves. We have the one bell, because that came up a lot more in the original testing. Didn't come up at all now. And then triple Nibiru for the Masters.
Okay.
I actually resolved this against that Punk Therion deck, because he couldn't make Baron before I dropped the rock. I think his hand was kind of bricky, so he made Chaos Dragon, and then I just dropped the rock as soon as the Chaos Dragon went down, and it put him in such an awkward spot because its level is 11.
Oh yeah.
So he can't make anything with it. So he's sitting there like,
huh.
I think what he ended up doing is he had to like play his adventure cards to get any other synchros, which means that I didn't have to play through adventure that entire turn.
Yeah.
And then I had the called by for a Scythe Lock when he went to try it anyway. So it was bonkers. This actually came up. I think with Therion running around, this card's getting a lot better again. So.
Oh yeah.
And also this thing eats negates anyway, so
exactly,
I mean, you cannot complain about eating free negates. For spells, we're playing one Change of Heart. I never cited that. Triple Designator, I cited that twice. Talents, I cited in basically every game. And then the 2 Chalice. These would be droplets. If I had my droplets, these would be droplets. I didn't cite this, so we're not going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the actual ones I did cite. This was cited in during the matchup during game 2 because I didn't know what he would cite into. So I cited this for more of comfort reasons. I didn't want to get nibbed. So when I cited the nibs, it was like I should also cite Designator because this deck hates nib as well because you summon so much.
And imperm and stuff. And
imperm.
And
so
all that.
Yeah, so it was just more of a comfort pick than anything. I don't think I leave home without Designator anymore. Talents came up a lot. I think every time I had won game 1, I cited this in over a bunch of my like really sacky cards. And that was just because I needed the free draws to try to draw one of the free extenders.
Yep.
Because something I did mention about the extra twins, Kiss of Kill Frost and Lila Treat, is that they can summon if you control the other twin, regardless of whether or not you control other monsters.
Yeah.
So if you draw those, if you didn't have your way to play around the hand trap, drawing with talents and then hitting those is just the way to go. And then I also cited in Chalice going second. Being able to hit just have another copy of Imperm was really good.
Yep.
And I just desperately wish these were droplets because
Droplets is way better.
Droplets is just so much better. Like, I cannot say much more about it. Like, Droplets is just the better card. Please, if you own them, play them.
Yes.
And then the last 2 cards were Solemn Strike. These only came up during the Punk Therion match because I took these out of the main. These used to be main decked. I thought I'd side them because I didn't know how many Sword Soul players we were going to play. And then I ended up siding them against Punk Therion because negating Synchro Summons is really powerful. So it did fine. Maybe keep it, maybe not. I'm super indecisive about this, just like home. So, I mean, mileage may vary. It really depends on your setup. So
awesome. Well, congrats getting first again, Jacob.
Oh, absolutely.
So sick. You played an awesome deck.
Oh yeah, I was stoked. It was like, dude, I won with Rogue.
Right?
That's wild.
Well, congrats again, and thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you in the next one.